Hello, everybody out there with diabetes. This is Dr. Jody Stanislaw coming to you for I think this is my 93rd Facebook Live, here to inspire all of us with type 1 on how we can live happy and healthy lives. Today, I want to talk about sugar. Do you eat it? Should we eat it? How do we eat it? How much should I eat it? All of that good stuff. So I'm so glad you found me. Perhaps this is your first video. If so, welcome. I've had type 1 for 40 years, and I've been helping patients with type 1 all over the world for about 8 years now. I do virtual calls and I have online courses. I've been coming live ever since this whole kind of COVID world began. And I wanted to be a source of inspiration and just motivation and education for helping you really get some new ideas on how we can stay positive and healthy in these interesting times. So I always show my Dex. I'm doing a great job here, right? Doing pretty good today. And this is what I do, is like, we deserve to have good numbers. We deserve to learn how to be in range all the time, right? Because I have found that when I go to the doctor, that's for sure, for 40 years that I've had type 1, is we often don't get the education that we need to figure out how to get off the blood sugar roller coaster, right? It can be so frustrating. We're having all these highs and we don't know why, or scared of lows, right? Well, there's more education out there that most of us have not received. I just finished working with a patient today. He said, I've never been in better care. He couldn't believe how much he learned from working with me. And that is what we all deserve. We all deserve to get an A1C in the 5s or 6s. Below 6.5 is what the American Association of Endocrinologists recommends, although ADA says 7. Endocrinologist Association says 6.5. And so we deserve that. And when you follow me, you learn how to do that. So today I want to talk about sugar, right? I certainly was grown up to be told that I couldn't have any. And I did a group call with a bunch of patients last week, and we all talked about what our favorite treat was. And it was kind of this anxiety on the call because there was a little like taboo, like, can we have sugar, right? Well, I'm just simply sharing with you my opinion. Everybody has their own opinion. And yes, if you know how to dose properly, you can figure out how to have a treat and not go super high. If I have a treat, I can stay below 170, 180 when I have a treat, because I know how to dose properly, right? That is a skill that you need to have flexibility and joy in your life, to eat what you want, right? Now, I don't recommend that we eat sugar very often because dosing is challenging, right? Dosing is daily guesswork, educated guesswork, but it's still guesswork. I always say, you know what? There's no such thing as just counting your carbs, finding the perfect dose, and thinking that's gonna be enough to help us keep us in range, because it's not that simple. Even though most of us have been taught it's that simple. You know, you count your carbs, you put it in your pump, you're supposed to be able to dose it and be done. Well, we all know, for those of us that live in the real world of living with type 1, that doesn't work, right? But I teach lots of microdosing skills, that's what I call it, where sometimes we need a pre-dose, sometimes we don't need a pre-dose, sometimes we need to split our dose, right? One dose per meal doesn't really work because meals digest at different times. So learning how to microdose is really important. And I have a course called Mealtime Dosing, How to Dose Properly, on my website that covers that if you want to learn that. But in terms of sugar, I believe, for me, I absolutely want to have treats now and then. It doesn't work for my emotional and mental health to say I will never eat sugar again. For some people, it does. That's great. For me, it does not. Growing up, having to weigh and measure every bite of food I took throughout my childhood created a lot of rebellion in me. And to this day, if I put a really strong rule on myself, I'm sure you can relate, you want to rebel, right? So I personally don't think that we need to have an all or nothing kind of approach. It works for you. If it works for you, great. But if you want to enjoy some treats, these are my suggestions. 1, learn how to dose appropriately for them so you avoid a super high. Like I said, my course, Mealtime Dosing, How to Dose Properly, will help you with that. But number 2 is I kind of live by the 90-10 rule, or the 80-20 rule as it's called. 80 to 90% of my life, I'm eating really beautiful, whole food, low carb options. But I want to have a little wiggle room. Like I love fudge brownie sundaes. I love warm home baked cookies. Those are my biggest, and ice cream. Fudge brownie sundae, ice cream, and cookies. That are my favorite. So I do allow myself to have those, but just not very often. And for me, it allows me to have great diabetes care. My A1C has been around 5.2 to 6.2 the past 10 years. And so it allows me to stay in good range, which is of course so important for our health. And it allows me to not feel deprived and not feel like, oh my gosh, this diabetes thing is driving me nuts. So maybe you'd like to try that, 80 to 90% of the time, choose healthy low carb options that are stress-free, right? I just had a group call this week and we talked about some people don't eat, Indian food or pizza because the stress of it outweighs the enjoyment of it. So, maybe the stress of eating sugar is too much for you and you just want to avoid it. Great. But maybe the stress of never having it drives you nuts, right? Well, then you just need to learn how to moderate it, have it now and then, but know how to dose for it. There's no reason why you need to eat 200 or 300 after dessert. There's no reason. If you know how to dose properly for it, you can stay in a somewhat healthier range. Now it's harder, right? It's harder than a low carb meal, but it's possible. So that is let's see, we got lots of people commenting today. Awesome. Okay, Isla. Hi, Isla. Lori's watching. Hi, Lori. Lisa is watching. Lori is watching. Another Lori. Hi, Lori. Anne is watching. Hi, Anne. And Amy. And Mary. And Rosemary. And Rodney says hiya. Lindsay. Hi, Carrie. Let's see. And Lori. Love occasional treats, but so glad I don't crave sweets. Yes. Erica. Hi, Erica. Rodney. My A1C will never get under 7 due to my history of lows. Well, no, you can get it under 7. You just have to learn how to dose properly so you avoid highs and lows. And whatever is in your past beyond 3 months doesn't affect your A1C today. A1C only reflects the past 3 months. So you can check out my website and I bet you'll learn a lot from my courses. Okay, Lori, totally agree with the stress of certain foods, right? Makes the food much less desirable. That's so true. Sometimes at dessert for restaurants, not that I've been at a restaurant for a long time, but luckily to this day now, finally I can have just a few bites and feel satisfied. So I get the treat, but I don't, overwhelm myself. Joan, so true, our emotion is important. Yes. People are constantly saying, I really feel like I should follow this diet. And I'm already ready to say, well, no, I don't think you should because I don't want you to have to should, anything. We're not going to enjoy food if we feel like we have to should be on it, right? Dean Wheeler says, hi Dean, a new Academy member, so happy to see you. Joan, I've been at 8 for 2 years and I feel defeated. Well, Joanne, sorry. 90% of type 1s out there feel defeated because if you haven't received the proper education for how to get your A1C in the 6s or 5s, you're gonna feel defeated. I hear that every day. People that go through my courses, they're like, oh my gosh, I can't believe I didn't learn this sooner. And anybody that's feeling defeated is likely because we haven't been given, we're given the expectation of like, okay, get good numbers, but yet we're not even taught really thoroughly how to do it. So Joanne, I bet if you sign up for the Academy and you get access to all of my courses and have a free call with me, well, it's not free, it's part of the program, I could help you a lot. I'd love to work with you. Rodney, doctors will not go there. They got my target range at 150. And that's fine. A lot of people, when they are afraid of lows, it's often because they don't know how to dose properly. There's only one thing that causes a low, and that is too much insulin. That's it. Exercise cannot cause a low unless we have injected insulin in our body. This is kind of a radical idea for many people. I'm not saying don't take insulin, of course. If you don't take insulin, you're going to go into diabetic ketoacidosis, and that could be lethal. We always need insulin in our body. But every single low you've ever had is because you injected too much insulin. You've injected too much insulin. Insulin is the only thing that causes low. If I didn't have any insulin in my body, which I said, of course, is a horrible idea because I'd go into DKA, but I could hike for 8 hours and it would be impossible for me to go low because the only thing that causes a low is injected insulin. And when you get this, it's huge. So knowing how to dose properly, I can exercise for 2 hours and not go low. I can exercise for 2 hours and not eat anything. This is what's possible for you as well when you get proper education. So if anyone is feeling defeated, if anyone, wants to, feel like they are on top of their diabetes and finally feeling confident and having better numbers, my academy will help you a lot. You'll get access to all of my training courses. You'll get a group call with me and my patients, and you'll get a private call with me. So all you have to do is go to drjodynd.com and click on T1D classes, and you scroll down and you'll see the academy. So Lori says the Dexcom took away so much fear about lows. Yes, highly recommend it. That is for sure, right? So I've been moving along, right on the low end of normal all day today. And I'm confident. I was, pretty much 80 all night long, but I'm confident that I'm not gonna have a low, right? Because I know how to dose my insulin properly. Let's see. Lori, hugs, Joanne, it's doable. PM me. I bet you do great with Dr. Jody. Thanks, Lori. All right. Well, this was a great call. I appreciate all the comments. And I was having technical difficulties. I couldn't use my computer today, so I'm holding my phone talking to you because my Facebook on my computer is not working. I guess that's what internet in Hawaii can be sometimes. So I have been doing these, like I said, since the end of March. This is like number 93. I don't know, I'm not gonna do them forever, 5 days a week, but I am working on creating a membership program, which I think is gonna be really cool. So check out my website, sign up and put your email into my newsletter or my free video or my free handouts or something, so I have your email so we can stay in touch. And so you can be updated when I have new offerings coming out. And if you're struggling, I really encourage you to check out the Academy. You'll get some of the best training that you probably ever have, and we'll get a call as well. Let's see, one last comment. Oh, hi Margie. Margie just brought on. I dropped just taking a shower, even no active Dexcom has helped. They say I'm too sensitive. I'm always getting adjusted. Every low is still insulin. It's still insulin. So if you're dropping because you take a shower, you've got too much insulin on board. So thanks for watching, everybody. I'll be back tomorrow right around 3 o'clock Pacific, 6 o'clock Eastern. I'm here to help inspire you to have a healthy and vibrant life with type 1. Thanks for watching. Please share this video or my website with anybody you know that has type 1. My passion and goal is to reach as many type 1s around the world as I can, because we all deserve better education. Most of us have not received it, and I am committed to making a difference with that. So thanks so much for watching, and I will see you tomorrow. Bye for now.